We're gonna do some rings. I fucking hate rings. Just not gonna lie. They suck. It's boring shit, but it literally makes or breaks the race car. So, all right. So I'm only really gonna film like one portion of this because, uh, like, I'd like to get done at a decent time, and it already takes me long enough. So we're gonna do cylinder 8. Cylinder 8 is going to be the first one. And I'll show you my ring table type shit. Okay. So I need a piston, right? And then a piston ring filer helps. Not needed. For sure. Not needed. But if it don't speed this shit up, I swear. I used to do it with like a hand file. Nowhere near as accurate. And I know I don't need to do this, but it makes me feel better. Just a little bit better. Again, that's not necessary. And as soon as I put this ring in, you're going to see that get kind of scraped away. But it's all good. Kind of. Super clean. But more important than anything is patience. All right, so that's, well, I fucking hate rings. All right, I put my pistons, I set my rings about midway down the bore. That's really where pistons, that's where your wear pattern is what I would consider to be the greatest. So I'm doing a 0.26. Look, I don't know if you can see that. 0.26 top ring. Money. Look at that. You get lucky. So you want the feeler to grab it, but you don't want it to hold it. So you want it to be loose enough to just kind of slide through it. What's the other ones on this one? Marked up. Don't know if you can see that either. This is my second ring. Gapped at 0.30. Got to grab my other feeler gauge. Now, it is boring. Okay. But probably the most important thing you'll do, especially for boosted cars, nitrous too, but boosted cars especially from the heat generated within the cylinder. I know this is not going to come up to 0.30. I'm well aware. That's not the point. The point is to confirm. All right. So I think I might be a little paranoid because I don't take off much material. So it takes me maybe a little bit longer than some because I've had ring butt and shit out pistons. I will show you a picture. Just grab the damn piston. So ever since that, I am mondo careful. You see, that's kind of binding right there. We're close, so just a little bit more material. Deburr it. Deburr. Should be close. So again, these rings, this is number 8. So it goes back on number 8 spot. And I do each ring so I don't just set all of them to the same bore. I know that seems like common sense, right? But some people do not know that. So see, that's still too tight. Again, patience. So now we're doing very, very little material. You don't want to go too big because then you'll have excess crankcase pressure and it gets annoying to be kind of smoky to get into boost, or until you reach like full operating temp, which isn't too bad, but I still think probably going to get excess oil in your turbo. If your turbo, I don't know if that's a problem. I'd just rather not. So that's still a little tight. It grabs, but it wants to hold it, right? Very small amount. And again, I'm going down in the bore. 7. Top ring. Oh, good. Flush. Sometimes I give it like a little twist. Make sure it's flush. Doesn't really matter. See me twist it. So you can tell these rings, about all I got left of a standard. So this has not been bored. Right, so this is standard. We're still 4-inch. Maybe a little bit bigger, but we're still 4-inch bore. So why are we still 4-inch? I know I'm getting the question. Because it's not like the stock 302 block can really handle much higher horsepower. Now, granted, I could take less boost to make the same power, right? So while that would be beneficial, I still have the boost there. So now, cubic inches is a nasty beast because cubic inches add a lot of cost. But they make more efficient power. You'll be able to make really good power. I'm a fan of efficiency. I just don't want to spend that much money to make something happen that it won't. It's not going to pay off for me in the long run. So getting more cubic inches now isn't like it's going to, save me money in the long run. Now, got an aftermarket block. We could talk a little different game, but right now we do not have an aftermarket block. But that's where the modular comes in. Our plans for the tech set is just sleeve it, starting sleeves, possibly pistons, rods, stock cams. I also have a set of B heads that come with the block originally. So You know, the current heads are the original Mach 1 heads, so see. So, you know, we can make power. You know, I've had some buddies ask me, why not stay 8.2 deck? And the simple answer is, it's not really readily available, right? I plan to have this car for a very long time, and I would like to be able to go to junkyards and pluck engines. That's why the Coyote attractive for the Mach 1 is that we will be able to go to a junkyard and replace it. Top ring 6. Midway through the bore. So, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So we know 0.25. You could assume we're at 0.25, right? But we're not. So now we're going to have to shave. To see the back side of that, just a little. Okay. And they make fancy tools for all this, but you know, piston works just fine. Plus, you get a better like feel for how you are in the bore. 0.26 top ring, cylinder 5. Right up, shit. So see this one needs to have a little bit taken off. Okay. When I say a little bit, I'm talking 2 or 3 turns. Beautiful. This is went a whole lot faster than it normally does, so it's a treat. Up. And I know it's redundant. I have not found one of these needed to be filed, but again, we need to know what we know, and that's something that we need to know. So I guess this is about 0.25, maybe less. Finished. Mint.